Welcome to the channel, people. Today I'm taking you on an adventure inside my favorite thrift store to grab a couple items to just give a little facelift. I've been wanting some spindle type items, and these little sconces for $4.24, well, I'm gonna grab them because they're probably gonna be just the thing I'm looking for. And this little gem might not look like much, but it has a chalkboard on the back, and for $1, we're gonna do something amazing to this. And last but not least, who doesn't want a little wooden duck or goose or bird or whatever this is? Write it in the comments what you think this is. Listen, people, for all you judging me right now about this duck, swan, bird thing, it's gonna be magnificamazing when I'm done with it, okay? I'm not judging the fact that it's got permanent marker and somebody wanted $5 for it. I got it for $1, okay? We're gonna sand this down with a 220 grit. Just go over the whole thing and then make sure you get all that extra dust off. I did also clean it with some Dixie Belle White Lightning. I spared you the cleaning. You're welcome. No need to give me an applause for that. And then I spent some time looking through all my stencils because I needed just the right one. And well, the right two, because we're going to use both of these. One is from Dollar Tree, the other one's from a collection I ordered off Amazon. And we're going to create a raised stencil on this using some joint compound, and we're going to mix that with this black premium chalk acrylic paint. Now you can mix this with whatever color you want. I'm going rustic, so I'm trying to keep it very neutral and basic. And then I'm going to take the stencil, tape it into place, and then smoosh the mixture all over the top of the stencil, making sure to be gentle with it and not push too hard, because if so, it's going to get all smooshed underneath the stencil and make a mess. I was also mindful as to where I wanted to end with this, so it looked kind of perfect like that. See how it just kind of, you know, goes around there. And I took my finger and just cleared up all the little extra bits that were around the edge that kind of hung over, and then put it in a different direction on a different spot of our swan, bird, duck wood thingy that we're making. Listen, I still haven't decided what I'm calling this yet. I'm counting on all of you to write this in the comment and figure it out for me. You can't expect me to know everything. I don't know what kind of bird this is, okay? I just liked it. All right, now we're gonna take our Dollar Tree stencil, which I gotta say, I'm rather disappointed about this one. I've got Dollar Tree stencils before, and I'm just being real. Like, this one is not premium quality. I was a little sad about how thin and flimsy this was, and I was immediately regretting my decisions when it looked like the mixture was smushing everywhere. I was like, oh, and then I'm like, I gotta muster through this. I'm just gonna do it and get it over with, because I mean, it's not too smushed. I know it's kind of wavy. I can't blame it all on the stencil. It is what it is. And then I took some of the mixture on one of my clay tools and then just actually covered over the permanent black marker where the eyes and the beak are. And I didn't record it, but a little tip, my heat gun dried this to perfection in 10 minutes. I wasn't continuously running it. I like took a break and then I run it and it dried it. And then I was able to take my Waverly plaster paint and go over this. Now, a part of me really wanted the paint to be very exact on both sides. Another part of me wanted me to cover the entire thing clearly. And then another part of me wanted it to be different, offer mostly covered on one and then hardly covered on the other. So whoever ends up purchasing the piece can put the little duck bird thing on whichever side they want to use it on. Lastly, to tie in that rustic look, we're just gonna take a piece of sandpaper, 220 grit, and go over where we put the raised stencil to really make that stencil pop out through the paint. For this little number, it had two sides. One side's a chalkboard, the other side someone painted these strawberries on, and I'm sorry whoever painted it, but it's getting a coat of Dixie Belle's cotton. I spared you the painting. You're welcome. No need to thank me. This isn't what you're here for. This, however, this is what you're here for. Usually when I'm going to attach a clay piece, I sand prior and then paint after. But with this piece, I figured someone is going to be holding this in their hands and they're going to be able to see any little tiny inconsistencies with the paint. So I figured paint, sand, then attach. This is my favorite clay that I use. I do have it linked down in my Amazon store. I do have an Amazon store now. I've had so many people ask so many questions about what I use, which is what. It's down there. Go check it out. Support the channel. Much love and much appreciation, people. Hopefully this will help you on your DIY journey when you're interested in the things I'm using on the channel. The main reason I love this clay is it is so easy to work with right out the package. It doesn't require any extra kneading really. And look how beautiful that came out. And I didn't even use cornstarch on that tiny mold. But you might want to use cornstarch. So use the cornstarch. Make sure it doesn't stick. I was being a rebel here and I took a chance. Okay, I took a chance. You can also do this as well if you see any pieces hanging over. Use your X-Acto knife just to cut that extra clay off, so this way it's molded perfectly to the section that you want to attach it to. And I used Tite Bond wood glue to attach it. And look, I dropped it and it still held its shape. Okay, look, it's there. We're gonna just now attach this piece. Also, another little tip, feel free to use spackling or caulking if you want to cover up the holes. I was being extra here and creating a shabby chic rustic piece and wanted to add the little embellishments on the top and the bottom, and I figured it would just cover the imperfection pieces up that I didn't want. Had this napkin laying around and I thought, we're gonna do it. I actually envisioned this when I seen it in a thrift store. I was like, I know what I'm putting on there and exactly what I'm doing with this. So I broke the napkin up into pieces and started lightly applying Mod Podge in certain areas and then using my sponge to press it on to not get any rip. Now, I've had a person or two tell me that this technique has actually ripped their napkin. I do question how much Mod Podge are you using, okay? Because I've told you light applications, okay? Light applications, pressing, and then gentle rubbing. If you're gonna pile on that Mod Podge and then press your sponge on there, that napkin's gonna rip, okay? I'm not judging you, but stop crapping on my technique, okay? It works. Look how beautiful this is. I'm just kidding. Not everything works for everyone, but you see me do it. I have a decoupage video. Check that out if you want more information on how I do sponging with decoupage. I absolutely love it. I'm sorry for those of you that have tried it and had issues. To tie in the whole piece, I just took different colors of browns and blended them, and then I'm using some mica powder to bring in the bright colors of the napkin. It's a very light powdery substance. It's also got some sparkles in it, so be mindful, it makes a mess. To finish this off, I'm going to add in some Dixie Belle's black gilding wax and go over our little appliques that we put here, and a little bit of distressing around the edge to make it look like it's aged and it's been around for a long time. You know, that rustic feel. And for that final mwah, we're going to add just a little bit of gold mica powder. Our final project was inspired by something I had seen on Pinterest, and you're going to need to cut 2 1x1s for this project. You're going to need a spindle. I know I cut the sconces up. I'm sorry. We're making a wood DIY with a spindle. And then you're going to need 1 1x2. Now the length of all of these will depend upon your spindle, because as you can see, I'm kind of going to fit the 2 1x1s on the edge, the spindle in the middle. We are creating an ornament hanger. And to attach our 1x1s to our 1x2, we're going to need to make sure we have all the right bits to attach all these pieces. Now I know before you go anywhere, Christmas is over, but I'm going to show you how I can use this all year long in your home. So next time you see some spindles, you're going to be like, I gotta pick that up, because Brandy at the DIY Struggle will show me how we can multi-purpose these bad boys. To start this off, I'm marking where I'm going to drill the hole for our spindle, and I'm going to use a 1/2 inch spade bit for this. You use what size you need to for your spindle. I just put a hole in the wall with the spade bit. Yeah, be mindful where you're putting that thing. Okay, so I put 2 holes in the bottom of our 1x1s as well, so this way they're prepped for the dowel that we're going to shove up there when we go to attach them to the 1x3. But right now I'm using my Titebond wood glue and a little bit of the wood shavings to attach the spindle, and then I'm drying it just a little bit to give it a head start. I then take some wood glue and go around the inside of these holes and then gently press it down exactly where I want the holes to go on our 1x3 or 1x2. And once you remove it, you can actually see the ring. See the ring? See the ring? It's a little hack, you know, it's quick, it's easy, and then bam, you just drill your holes in there, you cut your dowels to size. Now where did that go? You're then going to want to shove your dowels down in the hole, and yes, I do leave a little bit of the shavings because I feel like that being inside the wood glue, it helps just kind of attach the pieces a little bit better. It's a complete preference. Now we're going to give this a rustic look, and I'm starting off with a black paint. I'm going to layer this by distressing it with more colors, and this is Dixie Belle's Driftwood. And then I'm giving it a coat of the chocolate, and I'm just kind of leaving pieces open to where we can see the different colors. For the final layer, I'm going to just take a little bit of Dixie Belle's white cotton and go over it, leaving some exposed areas where the color is so it peeps through. And once that's completely dry, it should look something like this, giving it that rustic weathered look, and finish it up with some distressing with some sandpaper. If you hang out with me for my DIY related browsing videos during the week, this little sign that I hung on here should come of no surprise to you. But remember I said you can use this all year long. This is exactly what I meant. Such a unique little piece. You can put on your end table, you can put on a shelf. It's customizable according to the holidays, and whatever you want to put on here, make it your own. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, people. I hope you got some learning and some entertainment. Until next time, bye.